Okay, since I've been dealing with so many people asking me about this shit, and I've been saying, hey, I'll fucking do a tutorial, I'm just gonna do a fuck it one-off, throw everything I know in, and then maybe make another one in the future that's more refined. But for the time being, I'm just tired of having to explain this shit to people multiple times. I just need to make a fucking video that I can throw their fucking way and they can do it on their own. So, first off, you of course need fucking Koikatsu, if that wasn't obvious. You also need Ninja Ripper, and there's a nifty program you can also get called Sage Thumbs. Sage Thumbs allows you to view DDS files. Oh, I thought I had this all set up. Alright, so you also need the PMX exporter. There's another exporter out there, but that one's fucking broken. And it doesn't really work at all. Oh, sorry, I'm back from fucking work and my body is not happy. But essentially, you need to make sure that you start Koikatsu. Make sure it's DirectX 11 on Ninja Ripper and it's on 64-bit. And you're going to need to rip the textures as well as use the exporter. So the exporter is pretty fucking straightforward. You just click the export button, but you have to make sure you've started the game and it's the first time that you've selected male or female, because it'll break the T-pose and whatever allows it to take the shape keys. Because it breaks the shape keys if you go into the female tab and then go back. So, I already fucking ripped everything that's required. So I have the Samus that you see right here. So these are her default textures that the exporter grabbed on its own. Oh, damn. Yeah, there's still a lot of fucking shit. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. I really hope this video doesn't end up too long. So I'm trying to collect my words and make sure that I'm not droning for too fucking long. But essentially, I got all of her textures ripped beforehand. And there's obviously the Shy Gal. You, like, I mentioned this with my other tutorial, and when I've, showed kind of what I know what I'm doing, because I'm entirely self-taught. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. And I assume because of VR chat and other games like it, that people that ask for something like this know what they're doing. So I can't really spoon feed, and I'm not going to sit here teaching from step zero. This is unfortunately, or fortunately for some, just a video for people who kind of know what they're doing. Again, maybe in the future when I make another one, I might do from step zero, but for the time being, this just works better. And yes, I use cats, and Connect Bones actually works out pretty well with how you can rip these. And I fucking grabbed the wrong fucking thing. So I'm just gonna restart Blender. Yeah, I took interest in ripping from Koikatsu because it has a lot of really well done recreations of characters, and there's not many 3D modelers that spend their time working on something like P2A from Hunter x Hunter or things like that that are a little vague. It's an easy character creation tool, and I like the potential of it. There's Samus. Alright, so I'm only 4 minutes in, so this isn't too bad. Woo! Cat's got angry. Fix model. And this is important. I don't know if it does this with the old textures, but make sure you don't combine same materials, otherwise it just puts all of the hair into one big blob. Yeah, see, I'm doing this in one go, but I realize there's going to be some loading time while Blender's doing its baking thing. Or when it's taking the mesh apart. So I gotta find something to do to crunch time. So, separate by materials. Like, of course, one of the first things you can notice about these is it does, like, naturally, if you've tried this before, you know the fucking hair is broken. That's one of the largest issues that you can't fix on. Oh, great. Even better. How does this keep getting fucked up? There we go. I was clicking the wrong fucking one. So this, I have no idea what this is supposed to be a part of. I assume it's something to do with their shader. Like, I have a couple of shader friends and people who play around with this kind of stuff from different engines, but I still have no idea what this kind of weird shadow cast thing is. And if somebody knows what it is and wants to develop a shader or help build up the general knowledge on how to do this shit better, by all means, please do. Yeah. Now the eyebrows, somehow it manages to get the correct color for those, but I just use this little program. It works well enough. Or, well, it's a website. Could open it in GIMP too. God, I just need to close fucking everything. Already at 7 minutes. I knew this was not going to take less than 10. Because there's no way I can explain the next shit in less than 10 minutes. And again, I'm doing this entirely one shot. Like, if this fucks up or I reach a point where I'm like, can't really continue, then I'll just re-record it another time. But I don't really do much video, or, yeah, see, even like right there, I just fucking slurred for no reason. I don't do much video editing. Alright. That's clearly not her hair color. Is this all extensions? It is. So I use ShareX to just clip this stuff real quick. And, you know, you can use your own image editing program, but I use GIMP. And now I'm thinking about it, you're definitely going to want to use something like GIMP. If you know how to do some of the functions that are going to be mentioned later in Photoshop, you can go ahead and do that. That's what I was looking for. Her eyebrow color. The second one I'm going to turn into UV. Because the mask that you're going to use the hair for, or any of the details in the body, you're probably going to want to use the bake method that the hair uses. There are people I know that know how to work with mask and do their own thing, but this is just this looks better than being flat method that works right now. And if a better one's found, then this might become obsolete. Might even do a new video at that point, because the bake method is kind of jank, but it just makes it so they're not flat and you get the hair. And that's the important part, but like behind the Koikatsu models. So here is the annoying part. The hair, like I've done this too many times now, so I know how to recognize the hair that I'm looking for. But because we're using Ninja Ripper for this, and you have to get the textures, it doesn't give you the naming scheme for them or what they're attached to. So you kind of have to have UV open like this, take a look at it, and then of course Ninja Ripper rips shit upside down because it's smart. But you have to identify which one of these is that part of the hair. And that's the annoying part. The hair is usually what takes the most time. Like, once you get in the smooth of baking in the mask, that doesn't take as much time. Oh yeah, and of course, like, on GIMP, I have a plugin. I don't remember where I got it, but if people can't locate it on their own, I'll find a way to provide the information. But I have a DDS viewer or editor for GIMP. So this is just going to be hair test 1. And I generally use the same folder where I store or got the model and the original textures from. Alright. So is this the right hair texture? Let's go Samus hair test 1. And it definitely could be another one. So that's the same texture twice. And sometimes it rips textures that it shouldn't. So you're going to find things that just don't make much sense. So you do have to dig through the textures a little bit. And again, that's why, like, working with this Koikatsu stuff has made me want to get back into programming, because I know everything that needs to go where it needs to go. And if I could make my own exporter, I would just tell it to rip these masks and put them on a naming scheme, if not attach the information necessary to just put them all in the same texture. But I don't know how to program, so I can't really do that myself. But hey, maybe somebody who does might want to take it up. Alright, this part of the hair is obnoxious, so process of elimination. Let's go with the easier ones. I see that one's very obvious which one it is. And you have to flip these vertically if you get them through Ninja Ripper. Like, I'm sure there's probably some ripping guru out there that's gonna talk to me about, oh, hey, you've been using this when you could have been using this, or hey, dummy, you could have been doing this much easier, but I didn't tell you how to do this or get in contact with you the months that you've been doing this. So again, that's kind of why I'm just doing a one-off fuck it video, because I do just want to throw this information out, and then when people want to show their better methods, they can dunk me on the head and go, "You fucking dingus," and then show how to do it correctly or better. Is this the right texture? Hair test 1. it's in all of the right areas, so that is the right texture. I still don't know what that one is. God, I don't, like, I feel like I could have recorded this with somebody, like, asking questions at the same time, because I know I'm definitely blazing over something that might be a problem or people might not understand. Oh boy, it's one of these fucking textures. And isn't that just dandy? I don't see the texture, which means it's probably a flat texture. So this is the inner hair. That hair isn't visible, so they definitely didn't give it a texture. I don't know how they do that sometimes, but they seem to sneak a texture in, or sneak a part of the mesh in that doesn't actually have, like, an actual texture to it. Like, I have just been exporting and giving what I've been doing a shot, but I seriously should have fucked around with it a little bit more. But trying to figure this stuff out is just grating. When you don't have a lot of free time, you have to delegate work. And bashing your head against a wall versus doing what works and then experimenting is generally the better way to do it. Is this the same texture? This is. Which one is this? That is hair 1. Texture. So it's not that one. It's not that one. That's the wrong texture. Honestly, I feel like I could have done this like a baking channel. Like, again, not really knowing how to do video editing. I could definitely crunch down all of this time that I'm spending editing this. Does her ponytail have an actual texture to it? Alright. I'm starting to think it doesn't, but it looks like it does require one. Just great. See, every time that I've done these, I encounter one that has this weird anomalous problem. Like, something to keep in mind is sometimes the accessories aren't parented to the right bones. So you'll have like an entire outfit of accessories that don't move with the right parts. Well, I guess that works. .jpg. Front. Oh boy, Blender's doing that thing where it just makes everything black. And I deleted the underbody because, of course, this is a bodysuit, so it doesn't matter what's underneath. And the neck connects smoothly because that's how it's designed to be. I think this is the appropriate texture. Yeah, that looks correct. Alright, now that we got all of her hair attached to the right area, though her ponytail, I think, could be a different texture. I don't care in terms of time, because I don't want to be sitting here for too long. So that ponytail can go fuck itself. Because I'm already at 20 minutes. Alright, so this is a preference thing. You can choose to do whatever method of baking you want, but I'm gonna do what I usually do. And once you know how to do it yourself, you can then adapt the knowledge to whatever your fucking style is. But I use the material combiner to attach all of the pieces of hair together. Then I do the way that I do it. So this is 60. Hair 1. Hair 2. Hair 3. Alright, so I've got hair. And this is important because sometimes people misuse this tool and then it does something they don't want and then they get confused why that happened. You just turn off apply diffuse. Alright. And it is important that you're going to have to do this while the meshes aren't combined. And I know that's weird, but that's actually how you're supposed to do it. Like, I'm sure, again, there's somebody out there who does this kind of stuff for breakfast, and they're like, oh, you're some fucking idiot. You don't have to. All you have to do is this complicated line of process that you don't know. Alright, but I don't know if this is a setting that I also fuck up, but it seems to screw up transparency when you use the baking, or bake it like this. So this is the important section on the hair baking. So I of course got the correct hex, so I put that on the diffuse. Then you scroll all the way down to the bottom and then go to influence. You then turn it to multiply RGB to intensity, and then you put in the exact same color. And now that's gonna apply. I see it looks really good. That's gonna apply the correct. Oh, and you're probably seeing this. Again, there's no actual nip textures, so don't freak out. But sometimes it exports these things percolated to max. So you're just going to have to make a little shape key to push those back. Or you could grab the bones themselves and push them back as well. It's nip, I think 25 and 15 that you need to move back in Unity, and then it hides everything. Yeah, see, this is great. This is why I was afraid of doing a one-off video. I don't know how to edit, so I'm gonna have to have choking on water in the recording. Oh god. Oh, people are gonna flip their shit. Okay, back to the fucking recording. So, you got to, and then again, this is the important part behind the baking, is you got to, when you do the material combiner, sometimes it breaks the UV on it. I don't know how it does that, but it fucks it up. So you need to select the combined material, and then you go to the material tab and you click on assign, so that it assigns it in the correct fucking place. I don't know why it fucking breaks, but it does. So make sure you do that before you bake, otherwise it's going to fuck up. So you copy the hair, and then you disable the main texture. You then add a blank new texture and paste a copy of the hair. You select the copy, and it has to be in the exact same position because you're baking that texture onto the other blank texture. At least from what I fucking understand, which is God knows what. So you select the duplicate hair, and then you select the original hair. And I did shift left click, of course. Right. And you go down to bake. And I don't know what happens with hair, but sometimes it fucks it up. So I put the bias down to 0, 1. And then you go to textures. And you make sure you turn off clear. And then you click bake. And then that bakes in all of the diffuse and RGB to intensity. So you have all of the hair properly set to the color that it's supposed to be. And again, like the bake method works good for the hair because it gets it as close as you'd want it. Alright, so which one's the copy? Alright, this one's the copy. Delete that one. And then this is an important step as well. You have to pack as PNG and then save it copy. You can overwrite the original if you want, but I like, having backups in case I fucked up the bake. So of course you can save it under whatever the fuck your naming scheme is, but I save it under wonky file names because sometimes I'm doing these really late and I want to fucking die. So I save it as I want to fucking dye hair texture 20 or something. So this is just going to be Samus hair texture baked. So now that you have that hair all good to go, you don't have to do this, but I just like nuking the hair or the material. And of course, putting it shadeless, resetting the diffuse. And I don't know how to modify transparency or alpha. So don't do that if you're doing that with something like panties, because then the transparency will get screwed up. And I don't know how to fix that, because again, entirely self-taught. No idea how that fucking works. I'll figure it out one day, but that isn't today. So as you can see, this is Samus with her properly baked hair. Now, you can imagine that process dragged and dropped onto clothing. So, of course, we have to find the... Where is it? This isn't the right folder. You have to find the correct mask. Like, this is, of course, for the bodysuit. So I'm going to take these two and combine them because I don't know why it's stupid and decides that it needs to. And I'm just making sure to have multiple materials to take apart because it's a bodysuit, but I guess that's just how that works. So of course, just like the hair, you have to flip it. And then this is going to be bodysuit mask PNG. And again, you don't even have to do PNG. You can do whatever format you fucking want. Because I know immediately I'm going to have some fucker who's one of those Ripper guys. And I can hear them in my fucking head right now. Oh, you need to use TGA format. That's much better. You have less quality loss. And then they'll go on some long derivative of why TGA is so much fucking better. And it possibly is. It's just I use Pinch. Wow. Was this flipped correctly? Oh, that's for the boots. Oh, I fucking saved the boots as the bodysuit mask. Alright, that's not the bodysuit mask. That is actually the shoe mask. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. So I'm assuming this is the bodysuit mask. Yes, this one actually looks like a suit. God, I'm fucking tired. Okay. 30 minutes. Let's go. Alright, so we're gonna go to Samus, bodysuit mask, export it. Open Samus modified bodysuit mask. Like, as you can see, this isn't the color it's supposed to be, just like the fucking hair. I don't... Alright, I'm gonna zoom in here in case her clothing explodes. Alright, she isn't wearing anything. Does this count as pantyhose? No, is it underwear? No. Is this a bra somehow? It's a Soka plug suit with a special overlay on it. Of course. God, some of these people are creative. I would have never seen that this was the Ahsoka suit with just an overlay slapped on it. I feel like I just had a veil of magic lifted. Alright, now I don't know what the darker part of this is, so I'm just gonna go with the safe bet of that one color up here. And then on the duplicated texture, I'm gonna do RGB to intensity. I'm gonna make it light blue. There's barely any visual difference, but that's how that is. And again, I went with a very basic thing because that bodysuit is literally one texture. So when I had to do the RAM with the full, maid outfit, that thing was loaded with fucking textures. That thing took way too much time. Like, again, this is why it'd be nice to make a better exporter to crunch this time down, because I'm trying to save time, and I've done this many times over. And we're already at 30 minutes here. I've been trying to find a way to make this take less time, but it's just gonna take some time. I actually hadn't saved this. That's a bad idea. So of course, copy this, disable the original textures, and then just like and I guess I should explain it instead of blazing over it in case people need it a second time. So again, you disable both of the textures on the original body. You then create a new blank texture on like the next free slot. It doesn't matter where it is. You then select the duplicate that you copied before you turned off the textures, or it doesn't matter, you just need to have this looking how it's supposed to. So you select the duplicate, then you select the original that has that new texture ready to be baked. So, of course, the bias was for the hair. I have no idea what bias is. Probably gonna get a better explanation from somebody, but I don't know what it is right now. So you then hit that fucking bake button. There we go. Baked on a couple of new details, because this suit is honestly the way it's supposed to be. It just looks like a bodysuit. So you pack in the pinch, you save a copy, and then you name it whatever the fuck you want. Samus bodysuit, please kill me. This is already at 35, or 25, 35 minutes. Fucking Christ almighty. almighty. End this, please. There we go. Save as a PNG. I'm sure I'll appreciate my own joke at some point in the future. So you delete the duplicate, you select the original, you go to the textures tab, clean up all the old textures. This one doesn't have any diffuse on it, so it really doesn't matter. And then there you go. That is the texture for that body. Then of course I have the shoe texture that I got originally and named incorrectly. So there is the shoe mask. Those are some pretty tight J's, goddamn. So now there is this fucking shoe. Here I am at almost 1 in the morning, talking about a fucking shoe. So, same method. I've explained it 2 times now, so I trust that you know. Oh, that's... See, I'm fucking tired. I fucked that up entirely. Alright, so there's the original thing. There's the shoe texture. I don't know what the color of the shoe is. Was there just her feet? Is she wearing indoor shoes? Outdoor shoes. And it's the same color as her suit, so I can just use that same color again. Oof! Multiply RGB to intensity. Poof. Bada boom. Alright. So now I copy this with its details on. And again, like the mask, again, people know what masks are. They know how to work with them. I don't. A lot of other people don't. So I know there's going to be a better method in the future. But for the time being, just baking the mask in makes them look less flat. Because that's a problem with current Koikatsu models that I see other people trying to do, is they just look flat as all hell. So this is just a solution for the time being that makes them look better than, you know, completely flat. Shoes. Actually, nah. These aren't shoes, these are J's. Robo J's. Alright. Alright, selecting her. Oh, what? I thought I saved these as Robo J's. Damn it. Alright, so it's got all those correct. Front view. Now I need to color her eyebrows. And again, this silly little baking thing. Like, after you have duplicates of the armature, all you have to do is just select them in the outliner and then just delete the extra armatures. Alright, there's not much that's scuffed outside of just her eyebrow color. Alright, so go to this, select that, go to her eyebrows. That's the wrong tab. And just go to diffuse, bada boom. Is that correctly dark enough? I guess that's good enough. I don't know, the eyebrow has a better, darker texture, so I'm just going to copy that, I guess. Unless that's not darker. That's lighter. Undo that. See, and I was like, oh, I'll try to make sure that I don't make this take too much time. Here I am, making it take too much fucking time. Alright, so copy. Or actually, I just remembered that you can't really. Or can you bake these correctly? Actually, never tried. I usually edit them in GIMP. So let's give it a shot. Let's copy it right now. Turn that off. Create a new texture. Make a copy. Select the copy. Select the original. Bake those textures in. Alright. Image. Save as a penge. Save a copy. And again, you could do this in an image editing program. It's just baking is pretty fucking fast. It's all in Blender, so. Let's see. Alright, then let's just replace it like this. Alright, that works. God, I wish I would have done this when I wasn't as tired. Because I could have definitely done this much faster. But again, the general concept is baking the mask in is the best way to go about preparing the textures for the time being. And this is very simple. Anybody could just learn the right procedure to baking the mask in. And this was because a certain friend that helped teach me how to bake this stuff. I don't know if I should say his name because where I usually put this, people don't like name dropping. Yeah, I'll just say it's good enough for the time being. Beak. Now those lower eyelash things are baked to the right color. Save a copy. Sort by date. Eyeline down. Baked. Okay, so I select the duplicate, delete that. Stop that. Samus, doot, eyeline down. Turn on. Has that been properly done? Nope. So copy this. Turn that off. New texture. Paste. Select that. And bake. Alright, so pack as a penge. Because I get tired of eyebrow and all that shit. I'm just going to call this Mayuge or whatever because that's eyebrow. Select the duplicate, go to the original, turn that off. Boop. Mayuge. Alright, so she's got her hair, she's got all that. And there is a texture for the tongue. I'm not sure how many people care about the tongue texture, but because I know some of you people are fucking animals, I'll show you how to do it, even though I've repeatedly shown it. Tongue mask.png. Samus export. Save a copy. Alright, so there's that. Open. Samus. Let's go with that. Tongue mask. multiply RGB to intensity. And then let's go back here and find out the darker part of her skin. And then that's that. Yeah, see, that's like barely fucking noticeable. Alright, so copy, turn off these textures, paste the duplicate, select the original, bake. Did it even bake? It did. It just doesn't look any fucking different. Fuck it. Now what the fuck is this? Outstanding. So that's what this is supposed to be. So image, transform, flip vertically, hairband thing, I think mask. Alright, new texture, open. And you do have to do this with separate meshes because, at least from what I remember, baking different textures and materials on the same mask is just, or on the same mesh, is just kind of a no-go. Alright, so that's red. I'm just going to be lazy about this. Can I just add it? Nope. That doesn't make it look quality. Great, so it doesn't get the correct color, and that's apparently glowing. I can't really mimic that effect. What I can do is take that original one and make this a little darker. There we go. That matches what she's supposed to have. So copy it like that. Turn off those textures. Put a new one. And bake it. Awesome. So something got scuffed, but I don't care. It's a headband. Alright, so this is a part you definitely can't really do in Blender. You're going to have to use a third-party program. Or an image editing program. So, her eyes are clearly not like that. I don't know what kind of weird overlay shit they got going on, but this isn't it, Chief. So let's go to these ripped textures and see if we can locate whatever the fuck her eyes are supposed to be. So that's reflection. That's that. Interesting. I can't find her eye texture anywhere. I'm gonna give it another ninja rip and see if I can get the textures this time. That's the wrong fucking folder. That's weird. So it got the wrong eye textures. That is definitely fucking weird. I guess it has some kind of custom overlay to the eyes even. So I guess I'm gonna have to use these ripped textures. Oh, let's give it another export and see if it gets the eyes correctly. What time? Ooh, we're at 50 minutes. Yep, this is a long-ass tutorial. But it's the best that I can do to crunch it into one thing. And I might make a much shorter, better edited version at some point, but I really don't know how to video edit, and I need to learn. This is my Saturday night. Alright, so that's the proper eye. And she does have some gloss. I think it got the correct gloss. No, it probably didn't. So I'm going to go to that new folder, find the eyes, and get the gloss to them. So, of course, I gotta flip this. And then, so that white is there, and then this, for some reason, they put a little angled. Alright, so that is new Samus eye texture. Let's hope it's not scuffed, because that's what textures and everything in fucking history likes to do. Just break. So which one of these is 01? I'm going to make both of those materials the same kind. The same source. Beautiful. Now the eye whites, I need to know how to fix those. I'm probably going to find a better way to do that. But for right now, they're attached to shape keys, so I am not fucking with that. Anytime you edit a mesh with a shape key, it gets fucked up, so I'll probably find a better method to make it look less clipping into the white than it currently is. But for the time being, all of these textures have been appropriately baked in and resemble what they're supposed to. So now we can go and put all of these back together. And the shape keys, I don't know how experienced some of you are with that, but I'll just do what I usually do. And oh yeah, combining the meshes with all the shape keys is what usually takes the most fucking time. So I gotta do something in the meantime. And I just realized what the best thing to do is. Show you guys how to fix the fucking normal maps. So let's get rid of these. We don't really need them anymore. So those are the shoe normal maps. I don't know why it gets a hold of what looks like semen, but it Ninja Ripper grabs it every single time. I don't know if that's the normal map for the bodysuit. Adding it. The normal maps are pretty self-explanatory once you see them. Alright, hold on. Does she have some kind of weird... Yeah, this has symbols on it. This is definitely a normal map. And then that's a normal map for the body. And the method for fixing the normal maps on like any part is the same. There's no variation. It's the same shit, different part. So I don't really need to explain that part too much. Right, so I got those. Though the body mesh or the body texture, you're gonna have to grab two textures. I don't know why it has multiple, but that is the one you're gonna need to slap on and then find the red dark part of it and then multiply and apply that as the color for RGB to intensity. And then there should be a second. There it is. And this one is bluer. And this, I can confirm from looking at their skin tone tab. This is what's the, or what, I'll just fucking show it. It is a strange body texture. I think it's supposed to be for the suit, but the suit's overlaying. But this muscle is set to a certain skin type strength. So if I ramp this up, I just press spacebar. Thank you, elbow. But if you ramp that up, it should make it, yeah, it makes it much more visible. So you have to adjust the intensity to appropriately match what the Koikatsu one was. And that's for this texture, because clearly you can see there's muscles on this part. So you gotta match that. But I'm going to show you guys how to fix these up. I haven't flipped this one, so you flip it. Hey, and she's already done being recombined. We are on track here. And it's only been almost an hour. What was I freaking out about? I said, oh, this will try to get this in 10 minutes. Hey. Okay, so, again, this is, you can use your own programs to do this part if you know how to, but using GIMP, you go to the Colors tab after right-clicking. Then you go to Components and Decompose. You make sure it's not just RGB, but RGBA. It then splits apart the different fucking color layers. Or whatever the fuck. So, as you can see, this looks about ready, but it's not. It needs to be for Unity. So then you go back to Components, and then you go to Compose. That was probably one of my lighthouses unplugging itself somehow again. Then you go to the red tab, and you make sure to change it to the alpha. So you transform the red into the alpha. Or I don't know how that fucking works, actually. I probably fucked that up and I memorized it incorrectly. But the red tab right here, you change that to the alpha. Then it makes it good for Unity. And you can put this in whatever kind of thing you want. Or whatever kind of shader you want. It's a normal map. If you got a shader that doesn't have normal maps, then that's a little weird. Or actually, I think this normal map is for the muscles, but not the suit. Or it could be. I don't know. I'll have to plug it in and see what it looks like. So of course, same method, go to decompose RGBA. That one was much faster than last time. Then you go back to colors, components, compose, change the red to the alpha, and then boom, it's good for fucking Unity. So this one is going to be boot normals. Recently used, Samus. Okay, export. Samus. Export. Alright, and I'm going to show you guys the shape keys. God, I love when all these programs have been sitting in the background and they get memory leaks and then lag to fucking high hell. Gotta turn that off. I don't care about a background right now. My computer is really not happy. I need to get in a better habit of closing out all these programs. Alright, so I'm going to make sure Samus is saved correctly. And this is the interesting bit, is whoever found this PMX exporter, there's a fixed Koikatsu shape keys, and that's an important fucking thing to use. Because you can, when it gets or exports all the original shape keys, it exports every single little cheek twitch, nose movement, eyebrow movement in each separate part of this face. So it's a shitload of shape keys. So I normally, to make sure that the file size is down and it stops lagging to high hell, because it does, just delete all of the shape keys after you fixed it. You can keep whatever you want. I don't give a fuck what you do. It's your business. You get to export this and do whatever you want with it. It's your model. I know these are weird tidbits to include, but I know multiple people I'm going to send this to are going to say that thing and probably message me about it later and be like, hey, but why did you... I'm just saying what I'm saying. But there we go. So that's the blink, and of course the blink doesn't have enough intensity. So I just increase the blink's max to whatever I need, and it looks like about 1 point, that exact fucking number is the appropriate amount to blink. So I make a new shape key for mix, and then I click X and get rid of it. That's blink left. Oh shit. She didn't get any mouth movement. When the fuck did that happen? It seems to have scuffed all of the mouth shape keys somehow. Ay. Alright then. We're not working with this model now. I'll figure out what to do with it later. I got all the textures repaired. I can make an unfucked version another time. So for the video's sake, I guess we're going to the Shy Gal now. So the Shy Gal, I did the exact same method. Well, let me just turn that on. So, no, that's not the right one. Yeah, I was experimenting with how to restore the other bits because the exporter doesn't exactly grab the nip textures correctly. But that's off topic. This Shy Gal has had all of her textures restored the exact same way. All of them's been properly baked. I did, some custom stuff for the face, but it's of course, got its own face and shape keys for that. But that's still off topic. We're getting back to this because I got to show you guys exactly. Or actually, I think this is about done now. We can call the video quits right after this. But I use UTST2 or ASL shader as some of you have known it by, but I usually stick the normal maps. That's not the right one. I named some of these so fucked. Alright, but as you can see, you slap the normal maps into the correct fucking area, and they work how they're supposed to. Like with UTST2, you need to include a bit of shading. Like, and again, I could probably figure out how to do this better myself, but I just add certain darkness to it, or the base shade to another color, and then I feather it a bit, and that shows more detail to the normal mask, because otherwise it doesn't really have anything to apply to, at least with this kind of shader. I don't know how it works for ZZs or some of the other ones, but using the textures how you're supposed to, you should be able to get them all correct. And again, fucking Samus's face shape keys broke, but and the Shy Gal doesn't have her own fucking face shape keys that I didn't make myself, so I can't really show you what to do with them. I trust you guys are usually more experienced enough to know what to do, but I'll try to remember the exact process that's been trying to do in my head. But when you do the fixed Koikatsu shape keys, it's normally supposed to have mouth, and it has all of those associated shape keys combined. You find whatever one that moves the teeth for S and fill in what you need to, and then you can use cats to generate the in-between. And that works pretty well. And of course you saw me do what you need to do for blinking. And you disable eye tracking, because for the love of God, don't put eye tracking on these things. The eye whites aren't designed for it. It will clip in and out of the eye sockets all of the time. You do not want to put on eye tracking. But I guess that's a wrap up. It's been about an hour and 8 minutes, and I've jammed about everything I know. I know I probably missed some other stuff, but I'm gonna do an updated tutorial at some point. This is just the best that I could do jammed into one fucking hour long tutorial. And I guess it's a follow along, because please don't try to write all this down, because I include a lot of shit you don't need to hear. So, yeah, that was my tutorial. I'm going to be uploading this and sending it around, and hopefully whoever needs to see it will see it. You guys have a nice night, day, whatever the fuck. I'm going to go die now.